Chapter 4 Animal Kingdom. When you look around, you will observe different animals with different structures and forms. Over 1,000,000 species of animals have been described till now. The need for classification becomes all the more important. The classification also helps in assigning a systematic position to newly described species. 4.1 Basis of classification. In spite of differences in structure and form of different animals, there are fundamental features common to various individuals in relation to the arrangement of cells, body symmetry, nature of coelom, patterns of digestive, circulatory, or reproductive systems. These features are used as the basis of animal classification, and some of them are described here. Number 1. Levels of organization. Though all members of Animalia are multicellular, all of them do not exhibit the same pattern of organization of cells. For example, in sponges, the cells are arranged as loose cell aggregates. That is, they exhibit cellular level of organization. Some division of labor activities occur among the cells. In coelentrates, the arrangement of cells is more complex. Here, the cells performing the same function are arranged into tissues. Hence, is called a tissue level of organization. A subtle higher level of organization, that is, organ level, is exhibited by members of platyhelminthes and other higher phyla, where tissues are grouped together to form organs, each specialized for a particular function. In animals like annelids, arthropods, molluscs, echinoderms, and chordates, organs have associated to form functional systems, each system concerned with a specific physiological function. This pattern is called organ system level of organization. Organ systems in different groups of animals exhibit various patterns of complexities. For example, the digestive system in platyhelminthes has only a single opening to the outside of the body that serves as both mouth and anus, and is hence called incomplete. A complete digestive system has two openings, mouth and anus. Similarly, the circulatory system may be of two types. Number 1, open type, in which the blood is pumped out of the heart and the cells and tissues are directly bathed in it. And number 2, closed type, in which the blood is circulated through a series of vessels of varying diameters, arteries, veins, and capillaries. Symmetry. Animals can be categorized on the basis of their symmetry. Sponges are mostly asymmetrical, that is, any plan that passes through the center does not divide them into equal halves. When any plan passing through the central axis of the body divides the organism into two identical halves, it's called radial symmetry. Coelentrates, ctenophores, and echinoderms have this kind of body plan, that is, radial symmetry. Animals like annelids, arthropods, etc., where the body can be divided into identical left and right halves in only one plan, exhibit bilateral symmetry. Number 3. Diploblastic and triploblastic organization. Animals in which the cells are arranged in two embryonic layers, an external ectoderm and an internal endoderm, are called diploblastic animals. For example, coelentrates. An undifferentiated layer, mesoglea, is present in between the ectoderm and endoderm. Those animals in which the developing embryo has a third germinal layer, mesoderm, in between the ectoderm and endoderm are called triploblastic animals. All the animals from phylum Platyhelminthes to chordates belong to triploblastic. Number 4. Coelom. Presence or absence of a cavity between the body wall and gut wall is very important in classification. The body cavity, which is lined by mesoderm, is called a coelom. Animals possessing coelom are called coelomates. For example, annelids, mollusks, arthropods, echinoderms, hemichordates, and chordates. In some animals, the body cavity is not lined by mesoderm. Instead, the mesoderm is present as scattered pouches in between ectoderm and endoderm. Such a body cavity is called pseudocoelom, and the animals possessing them are called pseudocoelomates. For example, Eschelminthes. The animals in which the body cavity is absent are called acoelomates. For example, Platyhelminthes. Please refer to the figure 4.3. Number 5. Segmentation. In some animals, the body is externally and internally divided into segments with a serial repetition of at least some organs. For example, in earthworm, the body shows this pattern called a metameric segmentation, and the phenomenon is known as metamerism. Notochord. Number 6. Notochord. Notochord is a mesodermally derived rod-like structure formed on the dorsal side during embryonic development in some animals. Animals with notochord are called chordates, and those animals which do not form this structure are called non-chordates. For example, Porifera to Echinodermata. 4.2. Classification of animals. The broad classification of Animalia based on common fundamental features as mentioned in the preceding section is given in figure 4.4. Kindly refer to the figure. The important characteristic features of different phyla are described below. Number 1. Phylum Porifera. Members of this phylum are commonly known as sponges. They are generally marine and mostly asymmetrical animals. These are primitive multicellular animals and have cellular level of organization. Sponges have a water transport or canal system. Water enters through minute pores, ostia in the body wall, into a central cavity, spongocoel, from where it goes out through the osculum. This pathway of water transport is helpful in food gathering, respiratory exchange, and removal of waste. Conocytes or collar cells line the spongocoel and the canals. Digestion is intracellular. The body is supported by a skeleton made up of spicules or spongian fibers. Sexes are not separate. Hermaphrodite. That is, eggs and sperms are produced by the same individual. Sponges reproduce asexually by fragmentation and sexually by formation of gametes. Fertilization is internal and development is indirect, having a larval stage which is morphologically distinct from the adult. Examples are cycon, cypha, spongilla, freshwater sponge, and euspongia, bath sponge. Number 2. Phylum Coelenterata or Cnidaria. They are aquatic, mostly marine, sessile or free-living, radially symmetrical animals. Refer to figure 4.6. The name Cnidaria is derived from the cnidoblasts or cnidocytes, which contain the stinging capsules or nematocytes present on the tentacles and the body. Cnidoblasts are used for anchorage, defense, and for the capture of prey. Cnidarians exhibit tissue level of organization and are diploblastic. They have a central gastrovascular cavity with a single opening, mouth on hypostome. Digestion is extracellular and intracellular. Some of the cnidarians, for example corals, have a skeleton composed of calcium carbonate. Cnidarians exhibit two basic body forms called polyp and medusa. The former is a sessile and cylindrical form like hydra, Adamsia, etc. Whereas the latter, that is medusa, is umbrella-shaped and free-swimming like Aurelia or jellyfish. Those cnidarians which exist in both forms exhibit alternation of generation, that is metagenesis. That is, polyps produce medusae asexually and medusae form the polypus sexually. For example, Obelia. Examples are Phycedia, Portuguese man of war, Adamsia, sea anemone, Panatula, sea pen, Gorgonia, sea fan, and Meandrina, brain coral. Number 3. Phylum Ctenophora. Ctenophores, commonly known as sea walnuts or comb jellies, are exclusively marine, radially symmetrical, diploblastic organisms with tissue level of organization. The body bears 8 external rows of ciliated complates which help in locomotion. Digestion is both extracellular and intracellular. Bioluminescence, the property of a living organism to emit light, is well marked in ctenophores. Sexes are not separate. Reproduction takes place only by sexual means. Fertilization is external with indirect development. Examples: Plerobranchia and Tenoplana. Number 4. Phylum Platyhelminthes. They have dorso-ventrally flattened body, hence are called flatworms. These are mostly endoparasites found in animals including human beings. Flatworms are bilaterally symmetrical triploblastic and acoelomate animals with organ level of organization. Hooks and suckers are present in the parasitic forms. Some of them absorb nutrients from the host directly through their body surface. Specialized cells called phloem cells help in osmoregulation and excretion. Sexes are not separate, fertilization is internal, and development is through many larval stages. Some members like planaria possess high regeneration capacity. Examples are Taenia, tapeworm, Fasciola, liver fluke. Kindly refer to the figure 4.9. Number 5. Phylum Aschelminthes. The body of the Aschelminthes is circular in cross section, hence the name roundworms. Figure 4.10. They may be free living, aquatic and terrestrial, or parasitic in plants and animals. Roundworms have organ system level of organization, body organization. They are bilaterally symmetrical triploblastic and pseudocoelomate animals. Alimentary canal is complete with a well-developed muscular pharynx. An excretory tube removes body wastes from the body cavity through excretory pore. Sexes are separate, that is dioecious, that means males and females are distinct. Often females are larger than males. Fertilization is internal and development may be direct. The young ones resemble the adult or indirect. Examples are Ascaris, roundworm, Wuchereria, Planaria worm, and Cyclostoma, hookworm. Number 6. Phylum Annelida. They may be aquatic, marine and freshwater, or terrestrial, free-living, and sometimes parasitic. They exhibit organ system level of body organization and bilateral symmetry. They are triploblastic, metamerically segmented, and coelomate animals. Their body surface is distinctly marked out into segments or metamers, and hence the phylum name Annelida. In Latin, annulus means little ring. Kindly refer to figure 4.11. They possess longitudinal and circular muscles which help in locomotion. Aquatic annelids like nares possess lateral appendages called parapodia which help in swimming. A closed circulatory system is present. Nephridia, singular nephridium, help in osmoregulation and Excretion. Neural system consists of paired ganglia, singular ganglion, connected by lateral nerves to a double ventral nerve cord. Nares, an aquatic form, is dioecious, but earthworms and leeches are monoecious. Reproduction is sexual. Examples: Nares, Ferritima, earthworm, and Heredinaria, blood-sucking leech. Number 7. Phylum Arthropoda. This is the largest phylum of Animalia, which includes insects. Over two-thirds of all named species on Earth are arthropods. They have organ system level of organization. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, segmented, and coelomate animals. The body of arthropods is covered by chitinous exoskeleton. The body consists of head, thorax, and abdomen. They have jointed appendages. Arthros means joint, poda means appendages. Respiratory organs are gills, book lungs, or tracheal system. Circulatory system is of open type. Sensory organs like antennae, eyes, compound and simple, statocystis and balancing organs are present. Excretion takes place through Malpighian tubules. They are mostly dioecious. Fertilization is usually internal. They are mostly oviparous. Development may be direct or indirect. Examples: economically important insects: apis, honeybee, bombax, silkworm, lacifer, lac insect. Vectors: anopheles, culex, and aedes, mosquitoes. Gregarious pest, for example, locusta, locust. Living fossil, for example, Lamulus, king crab. Number 8. Phylum Mollusca. This is the second largest animal phylum. Refer to figure 4.13. Mollusks are terrestrial or aquatic, marine or freshwater, having an organ system level of organization. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and coelomate animals. Body is covered by a calcareous shell and is unsegmented, with a distinct head, muscular foot, and visceral hump. A soft and spongy layer of skin forms a mantle over the visceral hump. The space between the hump and the mantle is called the mantle cavity, in which feather-like gills are present. They are respiratory and excretory in function. The interior head region has sensory tentacles. The mouth contains a file-like rasping organ for feeding called radula. They are usually dioecious and oviparous with indirect development. Examples are Pila, apple snail, pink taida, pearl oyster, sepia, cuttlefish, loligo, squid, octopus, devilfish, aplysia, sea hare, dentalium, dentalium, tusk shell, and Chitopleura, chiton. Phylum Echinodermata. Number 9. These animals have an endoskeleton of calcareous ossicles and hence the name Echinodermata, spiny bodied. Figure 4.14. All are marine with organ system level of organization. The adult echinoderms are radially symmetrical, but larvae are bilaterally symmetrical. They are triploblastic and coelomate animals. Digestive system is complete with mouth on the lower ventral side and ends on the upper dorsal side. The most distinctive feature of echinoderms is the presence of water vascular system, which helps in locomotion, capture and transport of food, and respiration. An excretory system is absent. Sexes are separate. Reproduction is sexual. Fertilization is usually external. Development is indirect with free swimming larvae. Examples are Astrias, starfish, Echinus, sea urchin, Antedon, sea lily, Cucumeria, sea cucumber, and Ephura, brittle star. Phylum 10. Hemichordata. Hemichordata was earlier considered as a subphylum under phylum Chordata, but now it's placed as a separate phylum under non-chordata. Hemichordates have a rudimentary structure in the collar region called stomochord, a structure similar to notochord. This phylum consists of a small group of worm-like marine animals with organ system level of organization. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and coelomate animals. The body is cylindrical and is composed of an anterior proboscis, a collar, and a trunk. Circulatory system is of open type. Respiration takes place through gills. Excretory organ is proboscis gland. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is external. Development is indirect. Examples are Blanoglossus and Thacoglossus. Phylum 11. Phylum Chordata. Animals belonging to the phylum Chordata are fundamentally characterized by the presence of a notochord, a dorsal hollow nerve cord, and paired pharyngeal gill slits. They are bilaterally symmetrical triploblastic coelomate with organ system level of organization. They possess a post-anal tail and a closed circulatory system. Table 4.1 presents a comparison of silent features of chordates and non-chordates. Chordates have the following features: notochord present, Central nervous system is dorsal, hollow and single. Pharynx perforated by gill slits. Heart is ventral. A post-anal tail is present, while as the non-chordates have following features. Number 1, notochord is absent. Central nervous system is ventral, solid and double. Gill slits are absent. Heart is dorsal if present. Post-anal tail is absent. Phylum Chordata is divided into 3 subphyla. Urochordata, also known as Tunicata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. Subphylum Urochordata and Cephalochordata are often referred to as protochordates and are exclusively marine. In Urochordates, notochord is present only in larval tail, while in Cephalochordata it extends from head to tail region and is persistent throughout their life. Examples of Urochordates are Accidia, Salpa, Doliolum. Examples of Cephalochordates are Branchiostoma, also known as Amphioxus or Lancelet. The members of subphylum Vertebrata possess notochord during the embryonic period. The notochord is replaced by a cartilaginous or bony vertebral column in the adult. Thus, all the vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. Besides the basic chordate characters, vertebrates have a ventral muscular heart with 2, 3 or 4 chambers, kidneys for excretion and osmoregulation, and paired appendages which may be fins or limbs. The subphylum Vertebrata is divided as follows. Vertebrata has 2 divisions. One is Agnatha and the second is Gnathostomata. Agnatha, the members in this group lack jaws and the class Cyclostomata belongs to it. While the division Gnathostomata, they bear jaws and can be divided into 2 superclasses. One is Pisces and the second is Tetrapoda. Pisces bear fins and has 2 classes. One is Chondrichthyes and second is Osteichthyes. That means these are fishes. While the superclass Tetrapoda bear limbs and include the classes number 1 Amphibia, number 2 Reptilia, number 3 Aves, number 4 Mammals. So let us start with class Cyclostomata. All living members of the class Cyclostomata are ectoparasites on some fishes. They have an elongated body bearing 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits for respiration. Cyclostomes have a sucking and circular mouth without jaws. Their bodies devoid of scales and paired fins. Cranium and vertebral column are cartilaginous. Circulation is of closed type. Cyclostomes are marine but migrate for spawning to fresh water. After spawning, within a few days they die. Their larvae, after metamorphosis, return to the ocean. Examples: Petromyzon lamprey and Myzine hagfish. Second, class Chondrichthyes. They are marine animals with streamlined body and have cartilaginous endoskeleton. Mouth is located ventrally. Notochord is persistent throughout life. Gill slits are separate and without operculum, gill cover. The skin is tough, containing minute pelycoid scales. Teeth are modified pelycoid scales which are backwardly directed. Their jaws are very powerful. These animals are predaceous. Due to the absence of air bladder, they have to swim constantly to avoid sinking. Heart is two-chambered, one auricle and one ventricle. Some of them have electric organs, for example, torpedo, and some possess poison sting, for example, trigon. They are cold-blooded poikilothermous animals, that is, they lack the capacity to regulate their body temperature. Sexes are separate. In males, pelvic fins bear claspers. They have internal fertilization and many of them are viviparous. Examples: Scoliodon, dogfish; Pristis, sawfish; Carcharodon, great white shark; Trigon, stingray. Class Osteichthyes. It includes both marine and freshwater fishes with bony endoskeleton. Their body is streamlined, mouth is mostly terminal. They have four pairs of gills, which are covered by an operculum on each side. Skin is covered with cycloid or tinoid scales. Air bladder is present, which regulates buoyancy. Heart is two-chambered, having one auricle and one ventricle. They are cold-blooded animals. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is usually external. They are mostly oviparous and development is direct. Their examples are marine. Example is Exocetus, commonly known as flying fish; Hippocampus, sea horse. Freshwater examples are labio, commonly rojo; Ketla, commonly known as Ketla; Clarias, commonly known as Magor. And some aquarium fishes are betta, fighting fish; pterodophile, pterophyllum, angelfish. Now the tetrapods. Class Amphibia. As the name indicates, amphi means devil, bios means life. Amphibians can live in aquatic as well as terrestrial habitats. Most of them have two pairs of limbs. Body is divisible into head and trunk. Tail may be present in some. The amphibian Skin is moist without scales. The eyes have eyelids. A tympanum represents the ear. Alimentary canal, urinary and reproductive tracts open into a common chamber called cloaca, which opens to the exterior. Respiration is by gills, lungs, and through skin. The heart is three-chambered, two auricles and one ventricle. These are cold-blooded animals. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is external. They are oviparous and development is indirect. Examples: buffo, a toad; rana, a frog; hyla, tree frog; salamander, salamander; ichthyophis, a limbless amphibian. Kindly refer to examples of amphibia in figure 4.21. Class Reptilia. The class name refers to their creeping or crawling mode of locomotion. In Latin, repi or reptim means to crawl or creep. They are mostly terrestrial animals and their body is covered by dry and cornified skin. Epidermal scales are scutes. They do not have external ear openings. Tympanum represents ear. Limbs, when present, are two pairs. Heart is usually three-chambered, but four-chambered in crocodiles. Reptiles are poikilotherms. Snakes and lizards shed their scales as second cost. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is internal. They are oviparous and development is direct. Examples: chelone, turtle; testudo, tortoise; chameleon, tree lizard; calotes, garden lizard; crocodilus, crocodile; alligator, alligator; hemidactyls, wall lizard; poisonous snakes like naja, commonly cobra; bungarus, commonly krait; vipera, commonly known as viper. Class Aves. The characteristic feature of aves or birds are the presence of feathers, and most of them can fly except flightless birds. For example, ostrich. They possess beak. The forelimbs are modified into wings. The hind limbs generally have scales and are modified for walking, swimming, clasping the tree branches. Skin is dry without glands except the oil gland at the base of the tail. Endoskeleton is fully ossified bony and long bones are hollow with air cavities, pneumatic. The digestive tract of birds has additional chambers, the crop and gizzard. Heart is completely four-chambered. They are warm-blooded homeothermous animals. That is, they are able to maintain a constant body temperature. Respiration is by lungs. Air sacs connected to lungs supplement respiration. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is internal. They are oviparous and development is direct. Examples of aves are corvus, crow; columba, pigeon; stecula, parrot; struthio, ostrich; pavo, peacock, Eptenodytes, penguin, neophron, vulture. Class Mammalia. They are found in a variety of habitats: polar ice caps, deserts, mountains, forests, grasslands, and dark caves. Some of them have adapted to fly or live in water. The most unique mammalian characteristic is the presence of milk-producing glands, mammary glands, by which the young ones are nourished. They have two pairs of limbs, adapted for walking, running, climbing, burrowing, swimming, or flying. The skin of mammals is unique in possessing hair. External ears are pinnae or present. Different types of teeth are present in the jaw. Heart is four-chambered. They are homeothermous. Respiration is by lungs. Sexes are separate and fertilization is internal. They are viviparous with few exceptions and development is direct. Examples: oviparous mammals are Ornithorhynchus, commonly known as platypus. Viviparous examples are Macropus, kangaroo; Pteropus, flying fox; Camelus, camel; Macaca, monkey; Ratus, rat; Canis, dog; Felis, cat; Elephas, elephant; Equus, horse; Delphinus, common dolphin; Blenoptera, blue whale; Panthera tigris, tiger; Panthera leo, lion. And the silent distinguishing features of all phyla that we have discussed under animal kingdom is comprehensively given in table 4.2. Kindly refer to the table 4.2. Thank you for patient listening.